Previously on Eden.
She's just like, get over here. Oh no, she's crying. No, not the crying. I can't stand the crying. Well, that puts a somber mood on it. That's my grave.
And our story continues.
Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land, Jake of the One-Man Band is back again, and welcome to another edition of Eden. In the last episode, we got a surprise visit from someone who is actually kind of dead, but it seemed that it was a dream, because when we came to, we were lying in our bed. So let's continue. Yeah, just lying there. What did I eat last night? I picked myself up and stared in a state of panic. What's going on? Wait. It was a dream. Of course it was. I was an idiot to think so. Now that I no longer had dreams about my sister, I guess Elika was next. Dang, man, always having dreams about girls. This guy, lucky. I don't have dreams about girls. I got dreams about zombies and aliens, creepy stuff like that. I tried to force myself to smile, then noticed I was holding something in my hand. What is it? It was that box. So, was it a dream? Was it truly? I remembered up to the point I had picked this up. Did I fall asleep this way? However, I remembered Elika's voice from my dream clear as a bell. Her words most likely came from inside me. Inside my head. Dual personalities. In that case, we fade to white. Because why not? Now we're outside. Blurry. Are we running? Filled with indescribable anxiety, I ran into the night. The red star shining in the night sky only agitated my anxiety further. It seems like there should be, music right now, but there isn't for some reason. I ran and ran, just like I was chasing that star. Beneath the darkness, I at last reached the lake shimmering beneath the night sky. Why have you come to the lake? There she was. Oh, well. Why are you out here? You're gonna catch your death of cold! What is wrong with Sean? Her long, soft hair fluttered in the breeze, which blew off the lake. She didn't turn to face me, even though she had likely noticed I was here long ago. Sean, what are you doing here? Her phone looked transient, like she was part of a dream. Maybe this is a dream, but this was reality. Hey, who can say? You were just having a dream a little while ago. Sean, talk to me. That's why I called out to her, so that I could hear what she had to say. I might have met Elika, like just now. That got her attention. She was like, what? What you mean, boy? Joan turned around, a ghostly look on her face. Well, there's the music. Geez, it took it long enough to get here. The moon was so bright this evening that I could clearly see her face. Where is she? Well, inside you, inside me, and everyone she knew. You're never truly dead as long as someone remembers you. Also, I took that little box out of my pocket. What is it? Maya gave it to me. I think you should be the one to hold on to it. Here you go. It's a cute little box. I like it. It's an awesome box. She tilted her head and accepted the tiny container. She took one look at my face, then slowly opened the lid. Ew, it's hair! That's gross! This is... yeah. Shion could probably tell at a glance. Stored in the box was a silky lock of hair. Sister. So, it's Elika's hair? That's kinda gross, but okay. Friendly gesture, endearing gesture. I could tell. When Shion tried to touch Elika's hair, her hand was trembling ever so slightly. I knew it. Elika died. Yeah, we kinda already knew that. That's why she's told us to go on without her. An almost mute whisper escaped from her lips. She had maintained her composure even when she was face to face with Elika as she lay dying. And yet, here Shion looked so small, fragile, and vulnerable. Well, you know, more than usual.
分かっていたけど
I knew that,
でも
but
でも
シオン
Shion,
君は
at some point
どこかで
these
悲
past
しみ
few
をごまか
months,
そうとしてる
you fooled yourself.
本当に
You
悲しいこと
decided
が
not
何
to
なの
think
か
about the things that
考えないように
made
してい
you
る。
sad. But that's life! You see, Shion is thinking about the things that make you sad. And then we live with them. Huh? She snapped her head up.
君はずっと誰にも
You've
負けら
never
れ
been
なかった
undone by anyone.
弱さを見せることは
You
できなかっ
could never show weakness.
ただけども
But
君が
now,
強いままでいる必要は
there's no longer any
どこにもない。
need to keep acting strong. I had to
私
swallow there for
何
a
もご
second.
まかしてなんかない
I'm not tricking myself into
自分を
anything.
偽る必要なんて
There's no need to
ど
deceive
こにもない
myself.
エリカは
Elika left you behind and passed away. It seemed even Maya hadn't heard much in regards to Elika. All she knew was the Major had arranged Elika's burial before he was arrested, and that he had left a lock of Elika's hair in Lavi's care. Those details would probably be meaningless to Shion. All that was important was that the proof of Elika's death was right in front of her, right now.
だけど
However,
俺はどこにも行か
I'm
ない
not going anywhere. I
君を
refuse
一人
to
には
leave you here, alone.
させない
You understand?
誰もいない寂しい世界に
How could I
君だけ
go
置いていけるもの
anywhere
か
without knowing that I've left you on a lonely, uninhabited world? I was gonna say mountain. Because
ま
technically
た
they're on a
同じ
mountain
話を
too.
繰り返すの
You're bringing this up again?
君がどうしても
Look, we
俺
already
に助
talked
けた
about
いな
this. We've spent episodes talking about it. If you absolutely insist upon making me
シオ
leave,
ンを一人にするくらい
if
な
I have to leave you completely by yourself, then I'll kill you first! So then I won't have to leave you behind! Dang, man! Then I'll draw the curtain right here and now.
りょう
You really want me to go? Fine, I'll kill you! And then bury you, and then I won't have any regrets. Dang, man! We are intense. We are ready to fight to the death for this thing. There were several meters between me and her. Shion had to have known there was no way I would miss at this
これ
range.
で
I put an end to it all, and you won't suffer. Just one shot. That's all it'll take. All it will
私を撃っ
take.
て
If you shoot me,
次にその銃口
where
を
will you
どこに
point
向
that
ける
gun
の
next?
どこかな
Who knows? Does it really matter?
りょう最高
You're a lousy actor, Ryu. Shion declared in a decisive
脅しを
tone.
かけるなら
If you're going to
もう
threaten
少しリハ
someone,
ーサルは
you ought to
入念に
rehearse a
やるべ
little
きだ
more carefully. I don't need to rehearse. I've been threatening people all my life. I was a soldier,
そんな悲しみ
remember?
に曇った目で
What could you
何を撃て
possibly
るの
shoot with eyes glazed with
何
sadness?
十発撃ったところ
You
で
could pull that trigger dozens of times and not make a single life, not take a single life as you are right now.
冗談だ
I was kidding. Wait, what are you? No! Dude! Why? You don't make idle threats with a gun? What? This guy enrages me. I lowered the gun and
だが
grinned. Still,
シオンを残して
leaving
い
you
くという
behind
選択
isn't
肢
an
は
option for
俺
me.
にはないそれだけが事実だ
That part was true.
それはあな
There's
ただけの事実
only, it's only true for you. It isn't what I wish
も
for.
う迷うことはない
I won't waver again.
自
This
分のやるべ
time,
きことが
I know what I have to
今度
do.
こそ見えたから
I know now.
りょう
Ryo? Shion gently took hold of that lock of hair as her eyes went wide with wonder.
ここに残るということ
Staying
は
here
自
is
殺
as
す
good
るの
as
と同じ
suicide. Don't you understand? Yes, I understand that. I've understood it ever since we first came
世界
here.
の終わり
Like me.
なんていう
Jake,
曖
one
昧で
man
わけ
band.
のわか
I
らないことは
understood
どうでもいい
that.
んだ
I was ready to accept that. Something as ambitious and incomprehensible as the end of the world isn't worth worrying about.
その曖昧でわけのわか
I
ら
worked
ないこ
for
とから逃
100
れ
years
る
to
ために
find a means of
100年ほど
escaping
仕事
that
してきたの私
ambiguous and incomprehensible thing you know. It was strange because I got those words on the first try, but once they were repeated, I need to actually think about it.
俺には
Why
もう
is
どう
that?
でもいいことなんだ。
It doesn't matter to me anymore. Are you serious, Ryu?
もう何
Yes.
も失いたくな
I
い。
don't want to lose anything anymore.
私を失ったところ
After
で
you lose
何
me,
がどうなる
there's
わ
no
けでもない
telling what may lie ahead. Well, my death will lie ahead because I'll be on a planet that's gonna
このまま
explode.
ここにいれば
If you stay
あなた
here,
は間
you'll
違
lose
いなく
everything
全
without
てを
a
失
doubt.
う
That's
違う。
fine. You're wrong.
まだ君は
You
ここにいる。
will be here. You will be
君が俺
here.
を死なせたくないと言って
Just
くれた
as
よう
you
に。
said you didn't want to let me die, I don't
残された
want
シ
to
オンとの
lose
時間を
the
失いたく
time
ない
I
んだ。
have left with you. Oh! Oh! They're finally hugging! Ah! Yay! Oh, it's so cute. I reached out and embraced Shion's slender body. Yes! Her touch was warm and soft. I could feel firsthand that she was definitely alive. Good to know she still has that breathing complex. The time I spent with her, that serene setting, was more important to me than anything
今
else.
確かにここにいる君
You
は
are definitely right
はできない。
here right now. I can't leave you alone.
もう決して。
I won't let you be sad ever again. Never again.
いらない
I don't need your pity.
Don't
Yes,
worry
you
about
do! Now shut up and let me hug you! You think this is pity?
思わない
No, I don't. Her body rocked in my arms. Rock of ages! Rock of ages! Sorry. It looked like she intended to shake her head.
りょうは同
You
情なん
don't
てし
pity
ない
anyone. Flattery isn't your style.
本当に私を
Don't you
必要
really
だと
think it's
思
indispensable?
っているの
今度こそやっと
Maybe
見
it's
つけた
indispensable, or maybe it's
君の
inconceivable.
そばが
Inconceivable!
場所だ。
This time, I finally found where I belong. And it's by your
俺
side.
が本当に守りたいと思う。
That is what I truly want to protect. Your side. Not you, your side. My tempered body and heart were all for Shion. My body is ready for anything that Shion wants. For this girl who had been imprisoned for so very long and finally obtained freedom. For this girl who was still very lonely. We were similar in a way. As in both lonely, I would think.
私はずっとここにいる
Oh, your little face! Stop
エリ
it!
カが眠るこの星で
I'll be here forever.
私も
I
眠
want to
る
rest upon this world, where Elika sleeps. It was as though her big, beautiful eyes stared straight into my heart. Well, she's an anime character, and she's female, so her big eyes are gonna stare into your heart either way. But I didn't look away. I looked into those eyes, and I did not look away. Staring contest! I won! She already blinked. Okay. I want her to see everything. I wanted her to see everything. I want
あ
you to
なた
stay
の
with
そばに
me
いてもらいたい
until that time comes. The breeze made tiny waves across the water surface and rocked the lakeside vegetation. Rock, rock, rock the lakeside vegetation! The only things to disturb the stillness was the sound of the wind and her faintly audible breathing. I wanted to be with her. I wanted to be here. A longing desire for Shion, not as someone's replacement, but for Shion alone buried with, burned. But for Shion alone burned within me. It burned like a hot coal. Real?
やっぱり私
On
一
second
人じゃ
thought,
ダメ
I don't want to be alone. Of course you don't! Nobody wants to be alone! Including me. I'm so lonely.
一
Yeah.
人じゃ
If I'm
自
alone,
分のお墓だ
I
って
can't
作
even
れ
dig my own grave. Yeah! It's a terrible notion. You'll be left out for the birds and the buzzards and the possums. Possums don't eat people, I don't think. Apparently, the soil in the field had gotten so soft she thought she could dig it herself. She had wanted her grave ready before she died. Though, it's not like she would have been able to fill it her own, you know. Unless she was very determined, I think. Rio?
私が死んだら
If I
その
die,
後は
then after... Shh! Just... No, don't speak at that right now.
約束
Promise me.
あ
Yes.
あ、約束だ。
Yes, I promise that! Whatever it is, as I hugged her tightly, I silently made a wish. When you wish upon a star, please let her live as long as possible. Well, I guess that's all we can really hope for. And ask for. Pray for. All those words. Sky! She behaved just as I thought she would. Still, she looked quite surprised she looked quite surprised that I saw through her, scheme. Oh no. What kind of scheme is going on now? The girl who walked with a frown on her face in the dazzling morning sun suddenly went wide-eyed and dropped her luggage on the ground. Oh, it's Maya.
なんでいるの
Why are you here?
ちょっと畑の様子を見
I
に行っ
live
てきて
here.
そ
What
の
do you
帰り
think?
だ
I'm just on my way back from the fields.
嘘
That sounds like such a lie. That sounds like such a lie. Yeah, it does. A stiff smile crept upon Maya's face. Of course it was a lie. I was ambushing her.
家から出る前に
You
引き止
could
めれ
have
ばいい
just
のに
stopped me before I left the
先回り
house.
してるところが
Getting the
性格
drop
悪
on
い
me
よね
is just plain
なん
mean.
とでも言
Believe what you want. So,
え。やっぱり一人
did
で
you
行くつも
really
りだった
plan
ん
to
だ
head out all alone?
春菜くんも
Yeah, part of me wondered if you wouldn't go out of your way to chase after me.
どうだろうな。
I wonder.
お前の
Things
一
could
人
have
じゃ
gotten
危なっ
pretty
かしいから
rocky
な。
for you if you were alone, you know. Dangerous folk abroad. Grr, rawr, grr. Maya glared at me with a groan. That was a grr, actually. Since she worked as a journalist, I was sure she had her share of miserable experiences. But even so, Maya's heart was still pure. Perhaps Sean accepted her interviews because she liked that aspect of Maya.
でも
But I'm glad I got to see you. Well, I'm glad I got to see you too. You always had a nice, shiny, bright look on your face. Why?
殴っちゃって
I'm sorry
ごめん
for hitting on you. Oh, don't be sorry about that. That was all in good fun. Come on. This is an anime visual novel. Every girl's got to hit on the main character. Maybe I don't know. Jake, that makes you sound like a pig. I'm sorry, okay? Sometimes things just come out, and I can't think while I'm talking. Maya blushed a deep red and quickly bowed her head.
大体
It
私
wasn't
が口を出すよう
something
な
I
ことじ
should
ゃなか
have
ったね
stuck my nose into in the first place.
お前に
Well,
は
you threw
散々
things out of
引っかき回され
whack
たけどな。
in a big way. But
今は
now I'm
マヤが
glad
来
you
たせいで
came,
よ
Maya.
かったと思ってる。
You were fun. You were fun to play with. Oh? I had considered leaving this place, but now I have been able to solidify my reason for staying with Shion even more. If not for Maya, I'm sure I would have just gone with the flow. Never so much as realized how I felt and welcomed the end.
お前のおかげで
It's because of
真実
Maya
が分
that
か
I embraced my feelings?
俺の中のな。
This is amazing! Thanks to you, I figured out the truth. The truth within me.
結局
So,
残る
in
こと
the
に
end,
したの
you
に
decided to stay.
あ、
Yeah? Yep, this whole world's gonna be mine! All mine. I nodded without hesitation. I made up my mind to give up my freedom and protect Shion to the very end. But I had no need for such a whimsical idea like freedom anyway. Pfft, who needs freedom? Who needs freedom? I got a pretty girl. I wanted to put my life on the line to grant her final wish.
そっか
I see. Don't be so sad! Don't be sad! She closed her eyes tight and kept grumbling. She was perplexed, worried, and confused. It looked like she could snap any second. Are you gonna slap me again? That was when Maya's grumbling suddenly stopped, and she let out a tiny sigh. You okay? Come back to me!
しょうがないか。
No use arguing. You decided it all on your own. Was this your plan all along? She opened her eyes and her face was bright and cheery again. I took notice of her mixed feelings, wavering in and out with her cheerful smile.
泣くなよ。
Don't cry. That's an order, especially for you guys. I'm
泣い
not.
てないよ。
Do you see any tears coming out of my non-tearing eyes?
泣いてる。
Yes, you are. Boop. Yes, you are. She just pops out of nowhere. Ah! Creepy! Scary! Ah! Maya jumped at the sudden sound of Shion popping up behind her. Sorry to pop in unannounced. Shion didn't seem to pay any mind and just yawned.
もう少し遅くに出
You
発
could have
して
left a
くれれば
little
いい
later
の
in
に
the day, you know that? Kidding up. I mean, it's only like 11:30. Jeez. Shion said in a bitter voice, and Maya knitted her brows.
早く帰った方がいい。
Aren't you the
みたいな
one
こと
who
言っ
was
てなかったっ
telling
け
me I should hurry back or something like that?
忘れた。
I forgot. You know how I am. Very, very forgettable. Forgetting. That's the word. Not forgettable. That was definitely a
でも
lie.
マヤ、
But Maya, you mustn't go off on your own like that. It's dangerous to go alone. Here, take this, as in Ryu.
でもね、
Yeah, but, you know,
私たちは毎日小
all
さな
we
別れと再会を繰
we
り
all
返してる。
have our tiny hellos and goodbyes every day. But nobody knows for sure when a long farewell will come.
私にもわからない。
Even I can't tell.
だからきちんと
That's
付き合って
why
おくの。
we have to see each
いつ
other
最後のお別れが来てもいいの
eye
に
to eye. And so that when the final goodbye comes, we can say it and say we had no regrets. Yeah, Maya nodded with a humble look on her face. I'm sure she didn't actually want to leave without saying a word. She just didn't want. She just hadn't wanted to tear Shion and I apart. Well, it's okay. We're staying together now, so you won't have to tear us apart anymore. Also, wasn't it because she knew this was goodbye forever that she couldn't look us in the eye? Maya probably understood that sentiment all too well.
別れが悲しくても
Goodbyes are
言葉を
sad,
交わしておけば
but as long as we get everything out in the open, we won't have any regrets. So let's get ready to say goodbye, everyone.
私はさ、
I'm
これでも報道だか
a
ら
journalist.
いろんな
It's
人
coming
に
for me,
会って
for me, to all sorts
じゃ
of
あま
people.
たって別れて
Casually say, see you, and then never see them again. Maya gazes into the distance, a tinge of sadness in her eye.
今回の場合は
This time, it really will be goodbye forever. Because you won't come back here. Because the earth will be blown up.
死を
Sean, do you really have to make it so black and white like that?
また泣いてる
You're crying again. Tisk tisk.
泣いてない
I
って
told you. Not crying. I'm just cutting onions. And yes, that does happen. I cut onions a lot at one of my jobs. Tears up the eyes. Maya gladly denied it and rubbed her eyes. I was amazed she made it as a journalist with her heart on her sleeve like that. You should keep your heart in your chest. It's safe there. But maybe that human element was precisely what people tended to answer her when she questioned them.
私さ
I caused you two so much trouble. Yeah, but it was all in good fun. And in the
私
end,
だってまだまだ
I'm still just a novice.
記事を書いて
So even as I
ちゃん
write
と
the
世界のみ
article,
んなに伝わるか
I don't know if it'll properly convey your story to the people of the world. Well, technically not the world, since they're not on a world
シオンの
anymore.
ことはずっと遠
I'm
い未来
sure
まで
tales of
語り継が
Shion
れ
will be
るだろう
passed
けど
down through the generations into the distant future, whether or not I do anything at all.
それでも
But even so, I want as many people as possible to remember Shion for as long as possible. Then you should bronze
言
it.
ってくる
Bronze the book.
生きてる限りシオンのことを
I'll
語り
be on my
続
way
ける
now. I'll tell tales of Shion for as long as I live.
それが私の人生をかけた戦いになるんだ
To it that it becomes my life's work. Well, you know, reach for the stars. She kept talking on and on, hardly taking a breath when Maya was suddenly taken aback, like she'd realized something, and her cheeks went completely red. Maybe that was a little arrogant. No, strive for the stars! That was good! That was good! Keep doing that! It wasn't. See? Shion agrees with me. Shion smiled and shook her head. Just knowing I was able to point the way to a living world for people like you, Maya, gives meaning to all I've done. So live on, Maya. Anywhere. And forever. Well, at least until you die. She's the type that'll live without end, even if you told her that. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Tarzan. Oh, I see. Shion thought about it a little. In that case, live long enough that you won't become a bother. Oh, that is great. That is great. I'm gonna use that from now on. I'll work on it. Good. Always good to strive for something. With Maya in a bit of a daze, Shion took a step towards her. Oh, and now they're hugging! Oh, I love hugs. And gently embraced her. I love you. Shion? Have it. My ships will definitely give you a comfortable ride. I think you'll be able to write a great article. Yeah. I'm kind of glad that they didn't go for the obvious. Shion, like, buries herself in Maya's cleavage. I'm glad they didn't go for that. That would have just ruined the mood. This is tender. I like this. This is good. Maya nodded and wrapped her arms around Shion's back and hugged her tightly. The sight of those two girls embracing with the songbirds whisper and shining morning sun in the background looked downright sacred in my eyes. Their bodies slowly separated. Shion quickly drew to the side, leaving me face to face with Maya. Now come over here and give me a hug! That's right. May I write about you in the article as well, Haruna? Only if you hug me. I don't care either way, but I don't think it'll make for a very interesting story. Can I make it interesting? Are you planning to make things up? Are we just gonna keep talking questions? I was kidding. Maya smiled, but it felt horribly awkward to me. She was probably close to tears yet again. It's okay. I won't forget you, Haruna. And I'm sure there are others who won't forget you either. Nah, there aren't. Because they're all dead. I killed all of them. There are. For example, certain someone who is very pretty and is stronger than anyone, but looks very lonely. Are you talking about Lave? Lave? Chick tried to kill me, like multiple times. Had the fixation on the knives. Yep! Did Lavi resent me? Or did I no longer mean anything to her? That hot thought hung over my head, ever so slightly. No, I think she really cared for us, because as she was walking away, she was crying. But, you know, that's just my opinion, that's just my thoughts. She threatened me not to say anything, but I'm sure she'll allow me to think out loud about it. That sounds fine. For whatever reason, Shion arbitrarily gave her permission. She was looking off in another direction, so I thought she might not have been listening. When we talked about you, Second Lieutenant Lavi whispered something to herself. Oh, really? Was it a secret? I want to see you one more time. Does she now? The sight of Lavi suddenly appeared in my mind. It felt like I could hear her voice, like it was a memory or something. I want to see you one more time. I didn't kiss you. No, that wasn't the voice of the second lieutenant I knew. It resembled the frail voice of a slim, unreliable girl I once met in a distant battlefield. Going back to when we first met on the battlefield, when I didn't remember. It was her. So that's what she looked like, huh? Straight out of boot camp, scared little kid. Although she was a soldier, the uniform didn't suit her in the slightest, and her name was so long, it was a pain to address her. When I was done remembering that,
ただそれだけの言葉だった。
my brain couldn't process that, right?
聞いたことなかったよ。
That was all she said, but I never heard more powerful words in my life.
そういえば
Come to think,
あいつとは
come to
決着
think
を
of
つけ
it,
てなかったか
we
ら
never
な
did settle things
そう
between
いう
us.
ことだろ
It's gotta be about that, you know. I gazed at my own hand, where she scarred me. There was a faint white scar on the back of my palm. Technically, that's red. It's a red scar. But I understand white is hard to pick up. Like, when it's just on a hand, when the hand is also white. So, I get it why it's red. The pain I felt was that knife, when that knife stabbed me. I still remembered it. That near instant where flesh and blade melted. Looking back at it now, it had been my final battle. I had no objections to Lavi being the co-star of Ryo Haruna's last performance as a soldier.
たく
Man,
素直じゃないよね。
neither of you
みんな
are honest.
素直じゃない人の本音を
Coaxing the
聞き出
truth
すのが
from
我々の
dishonest
仕事。
people is your job.
春菜くんは
That's
弱
why
すぎて
you're a
私にはまだ
journalist.
太刀打ちできないよ。
You're way too stubborn. I'm no match for you just yet. She smiled bitterly and shrugged her shoulders.
だけど、
Although,
コメントも結
I
局
never
も
was
らえなか
able
った
to
し、
get a statement from
春菜
you.
くんには出会った時からやられっ
You've
ぱな
done
しだから
nothing
な。
but evade the issue ever since we met.
このままお別れっていう
It's
のは
annoying to
悔
say
しいし
goodbye like
一
that.
矢報いてやりたいよ。
Even so, I'm going to give you back, get you back just this once.
俺は何も間違ったこと
I
は
don't
して
think
ない
you've
と
done
思う
anything
が
wrong, though. I had seen her while bathing and thoroughly examined every inch of her body as well as her luggage. It was probably incredibly embarrassing for her.
どうしたいん
And
だ
that was when we just met. What would you like to do?
一発殴らせてよ。
Let me hit you. Just once. You already did hit me! You slapped me on the face in the last episode. Was it the last? Yeah, it was the last episode. I'm pretty sure it was.
お前には
I seem to
前に
recall you
ぶつかった
hitting me
記
once
憶がある
before. See? Yeah.
あれはあれ、これはこれ。
That was that.
乙女
This
の
is
純情を
this.
踏みにじった罰
Surely
としたら
you
悪いでしょ。
agree with a light punishment for tramping all over my maiden's pure heart.
まあ
Sure.
いいけどな
Fine by me. Take me. Just hit me once. Huh? Really? No. Was she looking forward to this? Hitting me? Maya slowly approached with a delight look on her face. She cracking the knuckles, sharpening the claws. What's she gonna do? She clenched her fists tight.
んじゃ、いきま
All
ー
right.
す。
Here I go. Okay. I'm ready for ya. I'm gonna take it like a man. She came at me with the exact same fashion as last time she hit me. But just before, just like before, I saw it coming. But I wasn't gonna dodge it. However, at the very last moment, her fist unfurled like lightning. Oh, she's going for the slap! She's gonna slap! What is it? She held back her neck and opened with the open hand and pulled me close. Oh! You sly journalist, you! Her actions were so harmless that I forgot to even resist. Oh! You are a smart girl! By the time I realized it, our lips were touching. Mwah, mwah. Kiss, kiss. No hugs for us, kiss. Maya's eyes were closed, and I couldn't read her emotion at all. Our lips were just barely made contact. But it looks like you two aren't even breathing! Breathe, dang it! You're gonna die! Turn blue and purple. Maya immediately pulled away, body and all.
春菜くんには殴られるよりよっ
Does
ぽど効くで
a
しょ。
better number on you than a punch, doesn't it? Well, yeah, now I'm confused. Now the emotions are coming back.
何を考えて
What the
るんだ
heck are you thinking?
何かな。
I wonder. Maya smiled impishly. Then, for some reason, looked at Shion. This is my parting gift. Giving dishonest people a shock is very effective in coaxing out how they really feel, right? I admit, that's a common view. Oh my. What? She murmured in disappointment and hoisted up the bag she had thrown onto the ground earlier. Well then, I'm off. Yeah. Oh, right. She looked like she remembered something. By the way, that was my first kiss. You better be grateful. So you gave it to me, a dying man. I guess it's your first kiss. You can give it to whoever you want. You're saying that after forcing yourself on me. I feel so violated. You accepted it, though. This is true. She said cheerfully as she took a few steps backwards and put some distance between me and Shion. In an instant, I knew, even though we were far apart, we would never be closer than this ever again. I knew this will only make me a liar, but I still want to say it, because I believe there's still hope. Yeah? What you got? Shion nodded slightly and stood by my side. See you later. Okay. See ya. Probably not. See you again. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. It's beautiful. Look at that. It's beautiful. Maya turned around with a swoop and ran off as her heavy luggage clattered behind her. She never looked back. She kept moving forward. We stood in place and watched her tiny figure disappear into the distance. There she goes. Yeah. They grew up so fast! There was no loneliness in Shion's face, because Maya had been a loud and boisterous person to the end. Because she had conducted herself in such a way that she wouldn't feel lonely once she'd said farewell. I was glad that there was no sorrow clouding Shion's face. Real? Yes? What is it? She was staring intently at my face. No. My lips. Hey! My eyes are up here! Look at them! Real? You fell for a surprisingly silly tactic. I never expected an attack like that. Come on. You didn't have enough experience? Reflect on it. Was it my imagination, or did her tone sound unusually angry? As I found myself unable to deceive, Shion clung even closer to me. She squeezed my hand so tight it almost hurt. Shion? Let's go back. To our home. We haven't even eaten breakfast yet! What about second breakfast? Roger. I'll make something right away. The morning air was clean and clear, and the birds were signaling the start of a whole new day. Was that woman running down this mountain trail this very moment, with all her might? As I thought about it, I felt a tug from Shion's hand. Walk inside. Walk nice and slow. We should have plenty of time left. Plenty of time, my dear. Plenty of time. Time all to ourselves, huh? Very soon, all of mankind will vanish from this world, and our final silence will evaporate the planet as it waits for the end. I chose to use the time remaining for her, and only her. That was my single and final decision. Fade to white. Yes! Amazing fade to white. Alrighty, you guys. We are staying in white. Then, the final act began. There's still a final act? Shion's condition declined noticeably after Maya left. Alrighty. that's not good at all.
少し動いただけで
She would
発
develop
熱
a
し
fever from light physical activity,
眠りも長
would
く
have little to no appetite, and would often fall into a long, deep
一
sleep.
日のほとんどを
Days where she would spend a majority of her time in bed were common. And those were the worst days.
それでも
Even
シオンは
so,
一言も
Sean never
弱
complained.
音を吐かなかった
Because I was there, and she was there, and we were there together. And that was amazing.
ただ穏や
She
か
was
に
perfectly content
何かを待
and
っている
seemed to
よ
be
うだ
waiting for something. Well, she's waiting for her death, obviously. We all are. And just like that, here we are. We're about to knock on the door, but we'll do that in the next episode. So, I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Eden. It's definitely coming down to the final episodes. I believe so. So, be sure to like and favorite if you've enjoyed. Subscribe, of course, if you feel inclined to. Be a good person, tip your waitresses, keep moving forward, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out there in YouTube land. I'll see you then. Yeah,